Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Calgary Esports League of Legends Season 1. I'm going to call it Championship Series because that sounds really professional and stuff.
That sounds awesome. This time, I think you nailed it.
I think I nailed it this time. As always, I'm your host, Drew Trekot Crawford. Joining me on the desk today is, of course, Jojo Barrientos, aka JB Red Phoenix, in the chat. And we are going to be taking you through this night of Week 3 of League of Legends Championship Series in Calgary. 6 teams have played a total of, so now they've played 1 game.
3 games.
3 games total, yeah.
Yeah.
And so we're going to be taking you through the final little ones. And yeah, that's pretty much my entire spiel for now. Jojo, how are you doing today?
Feeling good. I just picked up Mordekaiser myself and was playing around just in bots and just tooling around with it and making sure everything was okay. My goodness.
Yeah.
He's good.
He's good. Now, we are playing on 9.12, but as everyone knows, there was a hot fix to Mordekaiser, basically just to, I don't want to say nerf him, but that's exactly what happened.
It literally was a nerf, guys. To be fair, yes, Mordekaiser got hot fixed because, again, Riot releasing new champions or fixing up old champions to make sure that their gameplay updates release them a little on the strong side.
Mordekaiser definitely was on the strong side. Now, we were doing some research before to see if there was some quick ways to get out of his ultimate and stuff. QSS, Gangplank Oranges, there's a bunch of different things. We're talking a lot about Mordekaiser, but once we get into Game 1, I think you're going to laugh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so we're going to go straight into Game 1 pick and ban. And guess what? No Mordekaiser. I know, right?
Oh, that's really weird for me. I don't know how I feel about this. The fact that there's no Mordekaiser in this kind of a lane scenario is a little bit left field for me. That being said, Bushtown versus Team Wind. I think we've seen these guys.
We have, yep. I don't believe we've seen them play against each other, I want to say. I believe Team Wind versus Wedge. Team Wind versus, was it Masters overrated last week?
I believe
we
so,
need to get some analytics and some stats going on up there.
This is supposed to be my job, but again, I can't get all of the things, you know?
Okay, so for me, the key ones that I'm kind of looking at, Nico Top was really strong, still is. The on-hit build, a little bit more popular for lane dominance versus the AP build.
Yeah.
The Vigar out of Vigar. Something like that. I play League of Legends. I played it since Season 1. Still don't know how to pronounce that champion's name. I know I'm great.
It's fine. A lot of the champion names are really, really difficult. Again, Vigar mid is actually pretty good here. He does have a really weak early game, but his late game could easily turn around and just be like, I'm just gonna delete people.
Now, the interesting the reason I bring him up is because infinite scaling is a crazy thing, and I will attest to it. It is crazy powerful in the late game. However, versus the Rengar and the Garen, both of them are melee champions, and dropping the cage around them could potentially be an incredibly good disengage or engage, especially with the Nautilus as support. So I see a very, very strong team fight out of Bushtown. On the side of Team Wind, I see a lot of pick potential. Syndra ult, of course, one of the best for bursting out. Garen, very good at catching people out in the bush. Rengar, even more good at catching people out in the bush. Nami, single target, etc., etc.
Do we even need to mention the Rengar here? As if you guys were watching Week 1, seriously, please watch Week 1. It's quite fun to watch.
Yeah, Rengar has been on a tear, especially for these solo queue style games. So I think that's enough talking for us. Totally. Let's get into game number 1.
Game 1. Bushtown versus Team Wind.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Well, we're...
Game 1.
Okay.
Well,
Bushtown.
Don't worry.
Versus Team Wind.
Oh boy. Okay. Technical glitches aside, Shush.
I'm sorry, I can't help it.
But okay.
It's
So
30 seconds until the
we're off to a great start.
Yeah.
Okay, so right off the bat, we see standard defensive lines.
Yup.
So
A little bit
no,
of attack on a ward. That's interesting.
very, very hard attack on the ward. That was a ward massacre right there. So
But it didn't die. They didn't kill the ward.
no, they only got 2 shots. You needed 3 people around. Okay, so right off the bat, no funny play. We have seen some invades in the previous weeks, but it seems like they've kind of settled down. Bushtown and T-Wind are 2 of our, I don't want to say loser bracket, because they've only played 2 games. But
this is the only bracket right now that they both have losses on their scorecard.
yeah, Team Wind I believe has 2 losses. Bushtown at least has 1 loss. You just love that ring. The blast cone.
I love the Vanguard into the blast cone. I can't help it. It's so good.
So, both of them do have losses on their scorecards.
Yeah.
And so that means whoever wins this, since there's only 8 weeks and only 8 games, it's actually going to play a big role in determining who's going to get into that 4th place position.
Yeah. This is going to be definitely critical for both teams to get to basically secure their spot into the next, I believe it's either the next round or the round of 4.
It's the round of 4. So there's going to be a finals involving...
Ooh, big flash play up in the top lane.
Yeah, going for that... I actually have no idea what they were trying to do. While we're doing that, let's attempt to see if we can do this. I've been pining to try and do this all the time. Instant replay. Go.
Let's see if their spot into the next, I believe it's either the next round or the round of 4.
It's the round of 4. So there's going to be a finals involving...
Ooh, big flash play up in the top lane.
Yeah, going for that...
Interesting.
That, I'm awesome, I'm just saying. As we come back, Nautilus is getting dove on by the Braum and the Caitlyn. The Ignite is down, and that is going to be first blood easily done over to Team Wind. And unfortunately, it does go the way of the Braum because of the Ignite tick, but that was a very good series of aggression. Braum, Caitlyn, very strong.
Braum, Caitlyn, very, very strong. It's one of those cases where Braum is actually pretty, I'd say he's on a very scaling, and he can actually carry a little bit.
Braum?
A little bit. Not like a lot.
Question mark, question mark?
Question mark, question. It really depends. Like, if he's ahead like this, he could definitely carry.
Oh, Braum's going to go in. A point blank Q leads to a secondary hit and almost a third as Draven is forced to flash out of the way. I did that replay because I wasn't really sure what exactly Garen was trying to do, and I'm still not really sure what Garen was trying to do.
It was trying to do a flash into basically
Q silence and everything. But the Nico wasn't low enough health for that to really be considered an issue, even with the Ignite, so question mark, question mark.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we have Syndra versus Veigar, and it doesn't seem to be going too badly for Veigar as Nautilus goes in, gets the Ignite proc down onto the Caitlyn. Heal has been used. The axes are starting to come through. Goes for the Q. Gets a flash out of Draven as both spinning axes are up, but unfortunately the Rengar is here and he is pining for a first kill as Nico in the top lane is just bullying the Garen with the Pop Blossoms and everything else.
That Pop Blossom is going to be really critical for her kit.
Ooh, nice. Has to burn the cleanse to enable to get out, and that was a very good summoner spell choice by the Syndra as she's very susceptible with that cage. Syndra versus Veigar in the 1v1, I would go the way of Syndra.
Yes, but I would definitely say if you were very good at playing Veigar, very, very good at scaling, and looks like Nautilus is going to get caught out.
No, I don't think they have enough damage even with Braum stack to do much of anything. Garen, however, is getting picked on in the top lane. He's down roughly half the CS. Going to be able to pick up a little bit of that from... Oh, okay.
Big engage.
Very big engage. Goes for the Q onto Caleb. Nidalee is coming into the bot. Hopefully we'll be able to get that. Doesn't look like Nidalee is going to be able to get in range as Braum is playing. Oh! taking a replay of that. Nidalee able to thread the needle and get the kill onto Caitlyn. Beautiful spear. Now, I'm an old Season 1, Season 2 player, so while Braum is chasing down the Nautilus and probably going to be able to get a kill onto this Rengar pretty easily. Yeah, there we are. I can rage quit, able to get a nice... With the Empower Bola, though, is able to get another leap and block onto the Draven. The Ignite is down from the side of Braum, but unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're going to have any follow-up damage, and the Axe is not able to take down Braum as a return kill. So a nice 1-for-1 at the end of all of that.
That was beautifully played.
Absolutely beautiful. We're going to take a quick look at that because instant replay is great. Half this, yes. Going to be able to pick up a little bit of that from... Oh, okay.
Big engage.
Very big engage. Goes for the Q onto Caitlyn. Nidalee is coming into the bot. Hopefully we'll be able to get that. Doesn't look like Nidalee is going to be able to get in range as Braum is playing. Oh! Take...
Just...
That was crisp.
That was
now, unfortunately,
clean.
while that was going on, we did miss out. Rengar was able to secure a second kill, as you can see, onto, I believe, the Nidalee. No, the Nautilus. Sorry about that. So it looks like it's going to be 1-for-4 for the side of Team Win. And we do see a roughly 1,000 gold difference between the two. Now, a lot of that is coming from the CS of the top lane. Kha'Zix is really pushing around this Garen, which is kind of to be expected. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Syndra's starting to get pushed down a little bit, not able to get the drop onto her.
I don't think it's too bad right
now.
now.
Nidalee gets a very nice spear. The heal from Rengar is not able to do enough as he is going straight in, trying to get there. Want to stay away from the bushes as the red buff comes in and is able to help secure a kill onto the Nidalee. Unfortunately, Trigger just wasn't able to pull the trigger on Rengar. Nice little prediction on the cage, but Rengar is out of here. And it doesn't look like the Vigor is able... Oh, he's going to drop the ultimate, I was about to say. There is no way. Vigor's ult is based on health lost now, as opposed to the AP.
Yeah.
So, unfortunately, there was no way he was going to be able to get that. Nautilus is going hard onto the Caitlyn, but the Braum is able to get the nice body block and prevent any further damage from pulling through. The Nautilus is very scary. Draven now with a Vampiric Scepter, but he is going to be outdamaged by the Caitlyn, who has a pickaxe. So with 45 to 36 CS, the Draven's not being able to cash in those Adoration stacks before dropping. Actually, it was the Draven that the Rengar got the kill onto.
Ah, that's interesting. So now it's going to be like, I think it's going to be on more on the Caitlyn side. That way he could start pulling this Draven out of the lane. But if this...
Very nice hook there. As the spinning axe is going to be coming through, a little bit of a weird one onto the side of the Draven as the Ignite goes, drops for the disengage onto the side of Team Win. Doesn't look like the Braum had his Ignite up. That or he just refused to use it in that situation.
I think that was a good time.
Probably would have been a good time. A lot of return damage is being coming from there.
Ooh,
I want
for Nico here.
Okay, now this is something that I was curious about, and it wasn't until he brought up that rune that I kind of clued in on it. Glacial Augment is a really interesting build that Korea debuted recently, and I've been playing around with it on Ahri. Basically what it allows you to do is when you build the Twin Shadows and the
Hextech GLP.
Hextech GLP, you get so many slows, it's obnoxious. And you use the Trinket cooldown from the Domination side of the Rune Tree.
Oh, yeah.
And
Cosmic Insight.
No, that's for CDR. You can use that as well if you so want. I personally have been using cooldown reduction on the trinkets.
Yeah.
For the side from the Domination tree, which has been working out very well. It's just so many slows, so much unseen CC can come out from it, and Nico also has a lot of CC built into her kit. So I think this Glacial Augment build is actually going to be a really good kind of add-in, and once it reaches 2 items, Team Win's going to have to really watch out. Braum can only do so much. Speaking of Braum, he's going to be able to get that proc off onto the Nautilus. Yeah, able to get there, but the cage for the disengage is able to keep him safe. So
this is going to be very interesting coming into mid game while both Team Win and Bushtown are going to be going into team fights. Will the Nico get enough slow on the full team win to get some pretty nice empowered roots?
It's a good question. And so far, sorry guys, I am going to be aiming my phone on for a variety of reasons that I won't go into. Just know if you hear that, yeah, sorry. So with all that said, Nico is getting a lot of free farm in the top. 82 to 58, 59, 60, basically 20 CS down on the Garen.
But I don't think that's going to be enough.
Well, they're only 1,000 gold apart. Despite being 3 kills down and a few turret plates, Nico. Oh, I love Nico for that. Ooh. But it looks like they're more baiting Caitlyn in on this. Oh, a beautiful spear. But unfortunately, it's not able to do enough damage as Rengar is going to come in and get a very good kill onto Trigger. The forced and flash out of the Draven, who's not able to get the adoration stacks out of that. The Caitlyn baited that in perfectly. They were not expecting that Italy, who threaded the needle perfectly for those extra bits of kills as the drop down onto Syndra is able to take her down to about 60 to 70% health.
Yeah, that was
this
well.
Nautilus.
I don't think he should have stayed under tower. I should have.
That was. I'm gonna question mark that because that was just weird. So
and
yeah, Pop Blossom as well as the ultimate is gonna come down, rooting directly onto the Garen, but he's able to return a lot of damage, and he has the ult up, so he could easily win this 1v1 if he decides to go in. But there is the Pop Blossom and able to come through, and Jurlong is down for the count as Rengar was so close to getting that Draven. He was definitely fishing. Cage gets dropped down, but unfortunately, Syndra is out of here. And she does still have cleanse up, so I don't think there's much that...
I think we also have a disconnect in the middle of all of that. It looks like the Nautilus might have accidentally... DC'd, yeah.
Well, I severely hope that he's able to reconnect. Not something that really happens in the LCS, but definitely can happen in the online world, so hopefully we'll be able to see something pop up there. Braum is doing something, and he goes really low. I think the Draven could have chased after that, unfortunately. Caitlyn is on 2 items, especially the BF sword, but that is not going to be there. Veigar is able to get another. The cleanse onto the Syndra as she drops the ultimate. The ultimate from Veigar is not able to get enough damage done as Nidalee flashes there. Icran Rageblade is now dumpstering the mid laner of Veigar, and he's down to around 75% health, so Nidalee is not going to be looking to try and re-engage on that. Meanwhile, he might be able to get something done as the spear comes across, not able to do a huge amount of damage. Braum is there for the just in case she decides to re-engage, and a Q slow onto her says bye-bye. That's the end of that.
But well, she's down the spear. No, good sidestep by the Braum here is going to make
good fancy feet sidestepping from everyone, but the Caitlyn is now here, and no, you are not going to take that in Italy. You're not going to get that. Draven is going to be able to get red buff, but it doesn't look like anything else is going to pop from that.
It was very, very clean plays by both side jungles. It looks like it's going to be one of those matches where the jungle is going to be a critical factor going into mid and late game.
Now, I hate to say the jungle is a critical factor. Meanwhile, we do have Nico getting a kill onto the Garen, and she is up around 30 CS. So, honestly, while Rengar is 5-1, the problem right now is Nico can pop him. Yeah. There is the GLP onto the Garen, but they're not getting enough damage. The turret is down. The Garen is forced to flash out of the way. The spear misses, and unfortunately, that is the end of that. Rengar is there to back them up if they need. This is not a good 2v2 situation that you want to see. The Nico is going to bait out both of them, and the Rengar is going to go down for the count. Or, well, the Rengar
he's not down, but
he's not down.
He got jebaited.
He got jebaited hard. And so they are not going to be able to do a whole lot. The cage is dropped. Nothing else is going to pop out. The Q misses from the Veigar, and he is down 75% health. The drop is not there, and drop the base is not on Syndra.
Oh, he was so close in getting his Q, but he just came up just short of where she was standing. If he just stepped up a little bit more, I think he would have gotten it.
Yeah, but it was just a health trade, so not a huge amount. We're not going to be able to see the Veigar doing a whole lot of damage until, well, he will do some damage, but we won't really see those massive hits until he gets his death cap in. Death cap, of course, doubling the ratio of his passive, and so can be very strong. Who is very strong right now, though, Nico's on 2 items. Twin Shadows and GLP, both up.
That's going to be very dangerous, especially with the Glacial Augment build that Nico is running. That is going to be a lot of slow, a lot of easy landing CC onto this Garen. He needs to be way more aggressive now.
Well, I would actually say the separate. So my worry is Bushtown has an incredibly strong team fight now. Rengar is ulting, but it's more of a defensive ult than an aggressive ult almost right now. He is kind of fishing a little bit, but they're staying grouped up. The Nautilus is staying on top of both the Nidalee and the Vigard, just in case he decides to go for it. Nautilus, of course, has the second most CC in the game, just after Ornn, or before Ornn, depending on how you want to say it. The Spears and the Cage going a little bit wide as they are starting to posture for this Mountain Dragon.
Well, this is going to be actually critical for both sides of the coin here. This Mountain Dragon is going to make it easier to take towers. Both teams...
Easier to take all objectives, really.
Well, I want to say towers. It is all objectives for sure, but I think the towers are going to be a little bit more critical now.
A little bit, yeah. Draven's starting to climb up a few more adoration stacks. He hasn't gone down, so he's if he's been catching his axe as well, which it looks like he has been. Oh, Rengar sitting in the wins as the ultimate goes on to Caitlyn. Waiting for that Rengar to pop in. The nice flash from the Rengar as he gets instantly rooted up. The Nautilus is going to flash forward to try and get the CC onto either of them, but he's being taken terribly low. The flash ignite onto the Braum is able to get a lot done, and Nautilus picks up a return kill. Rengar is going to try and go in, drop the Ebola onto the Draven, but it's not empowered, so unfortunately he only gets slowed, not stunned. And we see a final disengage from Bushtown as they are down health bars. Caitlyn looking to get some damage done on that turret. He's able to take down the first turret of the game, second turret of the game, with Bushtown getting the first turret from Nico, so they're able to return that. We are looking at a pretty much 800 gold differential between the two of them. A lot of that is made up, again, by the Nico in the top lane, but we could see at any point a turnaround with a combination from this Caitlyn, who's been doing a lot of work in the bot lane.
I'm actually kind of surprised that hasn't been a real gank in the top lane.
Rengar goes in an easy kill onto the Draven. Isolated alone, the Twin Shadows are gonna get a very good disengage, and that's kind of the, I want to say the advantage, but in reality, it's just the annoyance of this Glacial Augment build. Yeah. Just how much slow and how much scouting potential it has.
It's got a lot. Especially with Twin Shadows, the fact that it auto tracks onto a champion no matter what. I think that's pretty critical, especially when we're starting to rotate into mid game. Now we're starting to start grouping up.
Oh, Syndra gets caged, but she's going to be able to drop the ultimate onto the Vigard, who does have enough health to... Nope! There is the ultimate from Caitlyn to knock down the Vigard. Now, of course, he is not a huge proponent of their damage just yet, but he will be, and so getting those stacks, getting that CS is going to be important. We see 160 to 116 in the mid lane.
I wouldn't
basically negating.
That's the one thing. I wouldn't count it. Especially with this. Look at this. Look at the damage coming down from Nico. Just it's a lot, even though it doesn't seem like a lot right off the bat. It's just being piled down.
On the Garen. She is able to get a lot of work done, but unfortunately Caitlyn is here, able to get the nice pop blossom.
Team Wind is just there.
Very, very good collapse. 4 men in the top lane. That's the moment when you look at the chat and go, mid lane, Maya, bot lane, Maya. Looks like the Rift Herald was taken by Rengar as well, so they're going to get a Rift Herald push down through the top lane and start to crush down these towers. 2 towers down in the push so far. Other than Vigard, it doesn't look like they're getting... Oh! Nicely
and
done.
Dark Harvest on Vigard?
Dark Harvest is there in terms of the... Like, okay. I know it seems crazy. While this team fight is going on and Ice Can Rage is going unstoppable, Rengar, strong champion. This is... I can see the Dark Harvest being a very good long-term and late-game champion build, mostly, because you get unlimited stacking from the Dark Harvest, and you get unlimited stacking from its passive. So in theory, it could double up the damage potential. Now, in reality, Dark Harvest is a very, very, very late-game focused rune, I find, unless you're getting a lot of harassment done. didn't look like Vigar was getting a whole lot. We can't see the stacks, unfortunately. that he's
It's a
sitting
little
at.
tough to call. I would definitely say Vagar needs to be a
Twin
little
Shadows
bit
is going
more.
to get onto the Syndra. Looks like she's going for a bit of a, I was going to say, a bit of a solo mission, but unfortunately not able there as both GPL as well as the Twin Shadows is burned to try and ward off 5-13. And that was a quick 4K gold pylon from the side of Team Win.
Here's the cut. I think, honestly, if Team Win takes this, it's going to be one of those things where it's going to be very, very fast game. Team Win's looking to end this game very, very quickly. Bushtown wants to delay this game, wants to get Vagar very fed, wants Nico to do a lot of work, making a lot of poke damage.
Speaking of a lot of work, though, that is a Rengar who's instantly popping the Nico. Unfortunately, Rengar is, I believe that's 9-1 at this point,
Yeah.
and just not able. Nico's just not able to survive, really. They don't have the dedicated tanks in. Oh, okay. Dumpster fire has been lit on fire by the Syndra, by the Braum. You can't play the 1v1. You can't play the 1v3, guys. Bushdown needs to consolidate their resources. The Draven as well as the Nautilus are going in, and the tower is in range to get a little bit of damage done. The spear is just wide from Nidalee and not able to get enough damage. Braum is there for the disengage as he jumps across to try and block the spear, and that is a flawless disengage while Garen is pushing in the top lane, taking down the inhib, breaking the base, and unfortunately, Bushtown is being routed by Team Win, who just seems to be going with the flow here.
I think this is exactly what the split push comp is looking for. You want the Garen in the top lane just pushing down towers while the rest of the team tries to duke it out. They could looks like Team Win could easily duke out this 4v4 here.
Oh, Nidalee's able to get a very good pop blossom, and that was a beautiful engage from her as the double kill comes across from the Nautilus. Definitely not who you wanted. Nidalee is going to get taken across. A very good stopwatch delays Rengar is stopping him from getting a second kill. Very nice stopwatch there from the Nico is able to buy enough time for the Draven to get something. But unfortunately, the kills are still going on the Nautilus. 3-4, you really wanted those kills going on to the Vigard, the Nico, or the Draven. Anyone but the support.
Yeah, it looks like Draven and Draven, Nico, or Vigar really needs that stacks. They really need the Adoration or the Q passive, or basically anything from Nico. I think in this case, any one of those three could have been very, very good instead of the support in this case. Unfortunately, that's how the waste it goes.
Yeah, they're not able to. They can't really be beggars, can't be choosers right now. Bushtown is behind. It cannot be understated that they are roughly 5,000, going on 6,000 gold behind. Now, almost all of that is sitting in the hands of the Syndra and the Rengar.
Yeah.
A lot of it is on Caitlyn, but not to the same extent. All of the kills are almost consolidated entirely on Rengar, and the big farm lead is in the Syndra. So we're going to be looking at them to do the most damage. Caitlyn is a kind of a follow-up shot, but depends what's kind of going on there. Garen is being caught out here. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't look like they're being routed quite the way that they want to. Garen's doing a lot of damage, but they're just pounding through him with the ultimate. Vigor ultimate, as well as is not able to take down the Garen quite as well as they were hoping for. Pop Blossom, as well as the ultimate, is going to come through. A beautiful three-man ultimate from the Nico, but they're just not able to follow it up. Caitlyn goes down, but 3 people are still alive on the side of Team Win, and a flash over. Bit random from Rengar, but okay.
I guess that's what happens if you need to take a dragon here.
A flash for a dragon, not exactly what I'm going on right there, but a very good team fight is. We're gonna see if I can get I'm gonna see if I can get an instant replay of that. Okay. Followed up, Caitlyn goes down, but 3 people are still alive on the side of. Nope, click too late. Still trying to figure. I know. I'm still trying to get used to this. Sorry, 20-second respawn or replay is a little bit tough for me. So, 10-22, we see the gold blossoming into an 8,000 gold lead.
I think it's getting past what I would consider the threshold of where Team Win can actually just take.
They can
this
still
all
come
away.
back. They can still come. I am 100% certain if they get a good ultimate combination onto the 3 backline members, with Nico, they can absolutely make this work. Now, Nico is sitting in the bot lane trying to do some split pushing. The ultimate from Draven, as Nautilus goes in, but the Braum is already there to disengage, and I don't think this is the fight that they were looking for.
No, not
The spears
at all.
are going very wide, and unfortunately, that's a good portion of the damage that they were hoping to do. The Rengar is going to go almost immediately in onto the Nidalee after the fact, and barely half of his health is taken down as the Nico is teleporting in. Ultimate is there, but unfortunately she gets taken down almost immediately, burned down by all of the members there, and it looks like at this point, this is what I would call an unwinnable situation. Garen is doing a little too much damage. Caitlyn is there to follow up. They're going to be able to take an easy inhibitor, and Bushtown is starting to look a little bit green like grass.
Yeah, honestly, they're going to be having to work extra hard to come back here, especially now with the top inhibitor getting poked down by Caitlyn. And Vigar is going to have to do everything in his power just to keep this team
Not
alive.
enough damage out of there. The heal is coming through from Caitlyn as well. While they're taking Baron, this is going to be a 10,000 gold lead for the side of Team Win. Frankly, this is the point when I would say, Bushtown, it is your game to try and come back. Team Win, it is your game to lose.
Yeah.
You have the ability, you have the power, you have the items, you have everything. Draven is just getting picked on by Garen.
But he's got backup.
Hail of 2 times. Does have a lot of backup, but unfortunately Garen is tanky. He gets the ultimate off and boom!
Yup.
Draven is down for the count.
That's it.
Adoration stacks are not coming through. He only has a GA. Interesting first buy. I personally would have gone for the Bloodthirster, but
I think considering that he was going to go walking into a lot of fights, I think he was going to need it.
yeah, but you never want to be predicting that you're going to die as an ADC. Granted,
Yeah, that's
versus
true.
Rengar, that's definitely a bit tough. Rengar sitting pretty at 9-1. Syndra now sitting at 5-1. And the rest of the teams are starting to come up as well. 4-2, 3-3 for the side of Garen, 5-3 for the side of Caitlyn. Not the hard carry that they were looking for, but it doesn't really matter.
Honestly, if I was Veigar right now, I would definitely be farming. Just keep the minions just keep the minions out of the base, as well as I would.
Oh, Nico hits the wrong button and unfortunately going to be pounded back by the Scatter the Weak. Nidalee is being chased down. Ultimate is going to come through, but no, the stagger is easily going to get there. Rengar is going on a solo mission, able to take down Veigar for the godlike. Braun is going to come through to try and save the Rengar. Easily done on the side of him as he is more than taking enough to take down a few. The Demolish is going to come through, and unfortunately, Team Wind is just blowing through Bushtown right now.
That was exactly what Team Wind did need, was a couple of just critical picks there. That way they could start just going in, snowballing together, and just running this base over. There's
Realistically, Bushtown doesn't have enough damage to get through the Garen, so unfortunately there's not a whole lot that they can do. 3 inhibs are going to go down. All lanes pushing super minions towards the base. This is 100% GG. Even with this amazing hook, even with this 5-man Pop Blossom, I say that, but the ultimates layer beautifully. Draven is able to get a massive ultimate onto Caitlyn, taking it down almost immediately. The Garen is being dropped to a questionable level as Syndra remains almost untouched, but it doesn't matter. One of the main damage sources is down. Rengar is having to try and regen and come back as he's only sitting at roughly a quarter health. Draven is going in on Syndra, trying to get extra damage as the ultimate comes through, but the Guardian Angel is going to prevent that. The Pop Blossom as well as the stuns onto the Garen as he's getting wrecked right now. All of the damage is being dropped onto them. One Nexus turret is going to be down. The empowered Bola onto the Draven is going to prevent him as the Rengar goes down for the count. And Team Win gets routed. Beautiful.
Unbelievable by Bushtown.
That was absolutely beautiful. It is a little bit too late for me to use the instant replay. Absolutely crucial defense. The beautiful 4-5-man Pop Blossom from Nico saves them for what seems like the, honestly,
I thought it was absolutely.
I thought it was done.
I thought it was done.
I thought that was GG. You can see the power of these layered ultimates. Caitlyn goes down immediately
Yeah.
to the combination of all the ultimates going through. I didn't see if Nidalee got a spear onto her, but it just...
If it did, it was kind of caught in the mess, but I definitely would say the ultimate from Nautilus very, very critical on the back line of Team Wind. Looks like Braun's gonna try to make this another. The Team Wind's gonna have to now regroup and make another push for the Nexus. But it's gonna be absolutely critical that Bushtown makes yet another very layered ultimate. It's gonna, especially
These wombo combos are their only hope.
Yeah.
They 100% have to make this an unfair fight. They have to get a kill. Nautilus goes in on the Caitlyn. The ultimates are there. The Pop Blossom as well as the ultimate is not going to reach her. She is not down for the count. And the Nautilus is going to go a little bit too aggressive. The Draven ultimate is there. Nothing is hit by the Scout of the Week. The Rengar goes in, but isn't able to get anything out of it.
Braun goes in.
Braum is going to try and go in. The Caitlyn is starting to poke them down, and unfortunately, the Draven gets absolutely wrecked by the Syndra. Scout of the Week, as well as the Q, is immediately dropped. Nidalee is going to go down for the count. Balls for days as they are easily pushing in, and that is a critical win for the side of Team Wind.
Wow, what a match.
Absolutely beautiful stuff from the side of Team Wind. I believe they're at 2 losses right now. So this was a very, very important win from them to try and cement themselves, or at least make a run for the top 4. We've kind of seen Masters Overrated take 2 games.
Yep.
We've seen... Has anyone else won 2 games?
I don't think so. I think a lot of the teams have been like 1-1. There's a couple of 1-1s in there.
So at least getting 1 win on the board, especially with only 8 weeks of this, very, very important. Every win matters. At least they're going to be in contention against Bushtown.
This is very much Team Wind's beginning of the Cinderella story. Now that this is going to be, now Team Wind's getting that critical win on Bushtown, that was exactly the plays that they wanted. They wanted, yes, they got burned on the first one with all the layer ults. I think they got caught out a little bit.
They did. They got a little bit confident, and they definitely went for a, I wouldn't say over-aggressive. They were ahead by 10 to 11,000 gold at that point. So they definitely had more than enough damage. But the massive layered CC ultimates can make a big difference. And if, honestly, in that last team fight, I believe if the Nico got on the Caitlyn, it would have been a different story.
Yeah.
But without layering those ultimates perfectly, they really, Bushtown didn't really have a chance once Team Wind started to get the damage. The Rengar ending at 11-2, the Syndra 9-1. They had so much damage.
Yeah.
So much single target damage. They could blow up whoever they wanted. So it was just a matter of preventing that from happening from Bushtown.
And the one thing with Bushtown, and I would definitely say next time if you guys want to try and run this comp again, stay together. I know that Team Wind was split pushing very hard. It was very difficult to see that Garen pushing down your towers and pushing down your inhib. But stay together.
Or at the very least, like what they were doing in answering Garen with Nico was the correct choice.
Yes.
Nico with the teleport is able to answer whenever possible. Playing around the teleport is definitely the hard part. What I would say is layering those ultimates, though, in team fights is more important. Nautilus got some very good hooks onto Caitlyn, but no follow-up. So it's almost like, if there's no one to follow up, does the hook really matter? So
yeah, again, it's one of those, like, I think your question was absolutely perfect to say that if there was no follow-up, does the hook matter? Again, you need to make sure that that answer always gets answered, right?
Like, that answer always gets answered.
Yes, you are going here.
We're going to go into intermission for a little bit. Please stay tuned. We got 2 more games coming up right after this. Right after, I keep wanting to say these messages, but it doesn't happen. We're going into intermission, guys.
Just say it anyway.
I've seen you. I've patrolled these empty thoughts before, but I'm fixed now on the cure. I'm holding on to the last rock on the mountaintop, and I'm begging for your love. Do you remember the type of folk we used to be, and the simple souls we used to see? Do you remember a fallen man with no escape? It seems he lives in yesterday. If you play away, well, I forgive you once again. I'm losing patience, and I know for sure that we've been right here before. I see the dangers, baby, I'm not crying over you. There's no point denying we're through, 'cause baby, I'm not crying over you. There's just shit that I've gotta do, so I'm not crying. I've seen better days, but the summer just sleeps away and I'm eager for its break. And I'm quite sure, like a human chess piece I've been playing, you're coming back for more. Do you remember the type of folk we used to be, and the simple souls we used to see? Do you remember a fallen man with no escape? It seems he lives in yesterday. If you play away, well, I'll forgive you once again. I'm losing patience, and I know for sure that we've been right here before.
There we are.
That's the mic.
I know, right?
Yeah, there
Yeah,
you
it
go.
was great. So we're back, and we're already into pick and ban phase because I'm great at life, and I totally didn't accidentally hit my button on the Stream Deck.
Oops.
Yay, Stream Deck! Thank you. So
Seems good.
I know, right? So we're gonna get right into this, and right off the bat, all I have to say is, Mordekaiser, talk.
Yes. Oh, come here, my sweet prince of darkness. What?
Not saying.
Hey,
it.
you get your puns. Let me have this.
Let you have your Mordekaiser.
Let me have my Mordekaiser. My
All
gosh.
right, all
he's
right, all right.
So fun.
So
I've never had so much fun.
okay, now Mordekaiser is been hot patched. Yeah, I
Yes.
speak great English. Has been hot patched,
Hot fix.
and anyways, he has been
gotcha.
hot fixed in the patch that they are playing. So
Yeah.
that is to note, he is not the super OP version that we have all have to take this.
Anyway, so yeah, so let's just quickly go over this real quick hotfix. He did get a little bit of nerfs, unfortunately. It is one of those things, but Mordekaiser is still strong. His AP ratios have still been absolutely nice, and it's been absolutely god tier on this patch. I'm expecting maybe do a little bit more balancing if that makes it a little bit more even. But that being said, we want to see this thing in pro play. We wanted to see this thing picked up by many players. Beautifully, both Wedge. It doesn't matter if it was on Masters or Raider or Wedge. I'm very happy right now that Mordekaiser gets played here. Yes, RIP Dragon. But that being said, wow, is this champion good or what, Drew?
It's pretty great. You're gonna have to solo cast for a minute, okay?
I got you.
Got it. All right, have fun, spin to win. We're going into game number 1, solo cast for
Two.
JoJo. Into game 2.
Game 2. Wedge versus Masters Overrated.
All right, first time on the desk by myself. I'm excited. Team Wedge. You got Mordekaiser. Oh, I'm so happy. Oh, let's see. What do we got here? Looks like a 5-man invade topside going right straight for the Tom Kench. Looks like the Kench has been unbenched, but he's gonna almost getting re-benched right away by Team Wedge. The 5-man invade almost successful. A little bit of cheese action from Mordekaiser himself, from the man, the myth, the legend, the Mordekaiser himself. Masters overrated. Beautifully done defense. Good defense, Tom Kench. Looks like you managed to get out of there scot-free. But Team Wedge gonna have to make a big play with the big man himself. Zaya and Yumi. Interesting picks here on the bot lane side as Masters overrated and Team Wedge. My apologies. Go for some early level 1 action as we see Vi take her red, and I'm trying to look over and try and see where my map is for this, as we see the mid lane Vi getting a nice clean clear here on the red side as she goes red into Krugs. Interesting. As you guys remember in a 9.11 patch, that the Krugs route into the Soul Crab route has been a little bit changed. Mordekaiser getting the pull on Tom Kench, as Tom Kench is going to have to start running away from that one. Zaya going to be getting some arrows as Yumi gets a big fat slow here on to Karma. And Sivir making some good, quick work of the minions. She's got probably one of the best minion wave clears in the game right now. Zaya trying to make some damage here, but as the ignite goes down, 2 flashes, 1 flash in for Zaya gets... For Sivir gets first blood here. Now, let me just go over as everything starts to calm down. Wait, no, I lied. TP's coming in for Zaya as Yumi's going to be able to pick this one up. Big slow here. Big root there as well. Going to have to get a little bit more damage down as Sivir is going to make that clean disengage. Wow. Beautifully done in the mid lane I forgot my mid lane champion. Oh well. Mordekaiser doing a little bit of work against the Tom Kench. And looks like Masters overrated is going to have to make a little bit more work to play against the range champions from Wedge. Mid laner. I have the name. I just can't remember it. Oh, it's on the tip of my tongue, and it bugs me. That being said, unfortunately, I don't know how to work the buttons on Drew's little system here, so we're going to have to just go with it, as unfortunately replays are just going to be down for game number 2. As we keep watching the mid lane, Vi trying to make the play here, but no dice, unfortunately. Sivir gonna try and make some plays, gets slowed up by Yumi, gets poked out by Zaya. Oh, it's big damage time for Zaya and Yumi here, as Yumi is just sitting there, a little bit of AFK, chilling, like a villain. Karma trying to make the big play. Big R-empowered route. Tries to make one throw for the bush. Nobody there. As Yumi makes the big poke and good heal, trying to make the heal and zoom as the mummy one tries to make the play. Goes for the tower. Yumi under tower. Yumi with a kill pickup, and that's 2 for Masters overrated. 7.4 to 7.1k gold lead. That's a 0.3k gold lead for Masters overrated as Mordekaiser makes the big push against the Tom Kench, as he's gonna lick his way back to try and get this wave cleared, but it is shoved heavily under tower. Big massive Q slams onto the ground. Vi and Sivir try to get back to lane. Vi goes right back to the Krugs as she's trying to make that clear. Big pull, big spit, big kill. Wave is clear. And Tom Kench is clear of a top weight as Wedge tries to make the push back here. Man, gotta give the first thoughts. Mordekaiser very strong still even against the legendary Tom Kench. Big poke damage from usually Tom Kench would be absolutely lane bullying Mordekaiser, but it looks like it might be the other way around as as there's going to be a fight in the Dragon Pit. It looks like Team Wedge and Team Masters Overrated are going to try to get there. Saya going way too in, but gets a disengage and gets a kill on Silver. TP coming in from the top lane for Masters Overrated. It is Tom Kench. He's going to make the play here. He's not on 6. He's not on 6 yet, but he definitely will help out his team to get the kill. Yuumi picking up the kill on Karma. And it looks like they're going to chain this into a very easy dragon. 3 people going into the pit. Tom Kench walking it back up the mid lane, as he's going to be very happy to see that that side jungle is clear for this easy dragon. What will it be on a cost? Not. Yep, it will, but looks like their jungler is going to be very low coming out of this one. Xayah finally getting back to lane against 2 here. Yuumi finally getting back to it. Getting back to her partner in crime, as she's going to be able to make some easily. But now she's going to bounce out. Looks like we're going to finally have a 2v2 in the bot lane. Now it's Wedge's mid laner going to have to try and make some work as they get pulled in by Masters Overrated. Swain going in. She's right on top of her. Swain's going to try and make this kill, but the shield goes up. The barrier goes up. Double flash. And Church of Incarnus is going to make a trade instead of taking him to Church. And we look back bot side as top side in this case, as Mordekaiser gets the pull on the Tom Kench. He's going to be able to start making some bully plays. A couple of pings. I could hear the couple of pings coming out from their side. And as Karma clears this red ward, there's not much to it. Masters Overrated making a very good. Actually, Team Wedge making a very smart play as Mordekaiser making more poke damage than it is. And it's very, very big poke damage. Huge Q slashing onto the minions. And as this wave crashes in the tower just short of the pull. And as Team Wedge. Again, it is very difficult to play against the Swain, but I'm thinking Team Wedge might have a fighting chance to get against that. Masters Overrated. Again, clearing up the wards, making sure they have that Team Wedge doesn't have the visibility on here. As Team Wedge fighting for the same thing. Masters Overrated making this game being very close. And Nunu being able to try to get the ult up and he gets the Q off, trying to make the play here. Looks like Syndra is going to get caught out. Beautifully done. That's 1 for 1 so far. Swain trying to make the play here. Gets the pull on Vi as Yuumi goes in. That is Vi getting taken to Church. Welcome back, Drew.
Hey guys.
How you doing?
It's been a heck of a day, so I'm gonna get my chair back. Because let's face it, chairs are the most important thing.
Oh man, that was a good chair.
Was it a good chair?
It was a good chair.
All right, let's see. 3-7, and it looks like Masters Overrated. I don't want to say predictably, but
it's getting pretty close to the point where Masters Overrated is starting to run away. Again, I would definitely say Swain is very hard to pick, very hard to play against. But I think Wedge is getting there because Syndra, very good range champion against Swain.
Yeah, so Swain was a champion we saw Masters Overrated play last time. In game, their first game actually that we watched, that we casted, they played Swain as well. Yeah. So a champion obviously that is, I wouldn't say a comfort pick, but yeah,
strong. It's a strong pick.
Syndra is really good at dodging.
Yeah.
Wow.
I honestly, she's got good movement speed. She's got definitely good sidestepping ability. I'd say I wasn't using any of the replays to make it.
Don't worry. I'm just checking to make sure. You keep going, man. You keep going.
We're good. So I also want to admit, Yuumi making some very, very strong plays here. As my screen's a little bit.
203. Ah.
Yeah.
There you go.
Thank you.
Technical stuff. It's great. Yeah, Yuumi looking at 2-0-3, which is actually incredibly good. Now, Yuumi is a champion that I detest.
There we go.
I absolutely detest Yumi for the sheer sake of the fact that, wow, Vi is going to almost immediately end, but a nice stopwatch is able to prevent her from using the rest of her CC. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get the Vault Breaker off. A very good scout of the week. Is the ultimate able to get in range? No.
Well, she already looks like Syndra already burned her ultimate before as the fight started, so it doesn't have much in the tank to follow up on that Vi.
No, unfortunately, you're 100% right. Let's see if I got the tail end of that fight. Prevent her from using the rest of her CC. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get the Vault Breaker off. A very good scout of the week. Is the ultimate able to get in range? No. And as we come back, Amumu is getting picked on. Poor sad mummy.
Poor sad mummy.
Very poor sad mummy. So, no, we didn't miss there. What I wanted to try and see was if the stopwatch was able to cancel out the Syndra ult as well.
It's sort of, it actually, if I remember correctly, it kind of did, because there was a couple of balls on the ground, and he was just completely golden, completely untargetable.
Tom Kench is getting blasted by Mordekaiser, as it looks like he goes into his ultimate, but it doesn't look like Tom Kench is going to be able to do a whole lot. The stun comes down. He's going to be able to regen a lot of this off of his passive, but the Grey health has not been popped yet. So overall, healthily trade for the Mordekaiser, despite the fact that Tom Kench gets half his health back.
I don't think the ult was used in this case here.
It looked weird because he had the animation, and his ultimate looks like it's down, doesn't it?
I can't tell, unfortunately.
Tiny replays, not that useful. So,
that's okay.
One way or another, the Leandri's Torment is definitely starting to apply some burn, despite the Spectral Cowl being built on Tom Kench. Alright, dragons. We have Infernal for Infernal, and it looks like... Is that another Infernal? Potentially.
It's a potential another Infernal for either side team.
Nope,
but
Ocean.
Both teams are going to have to be starting to fight for these dragons, because they're both starting to become critical is going into various team fights as both teams are getting ready here.
Now, Amumu seems to be going for a little bit of a tankier build this time.
Yep.
Last time we saw Amumu, he went for full AP, which was frustrating to deal with.
Oh.
Very frustrating. Now, on the side of Masters Overrated, we have a relatively tanky composition. Tom Kench is going to go into a bit of a tank.
Yep.
Amumu seems to be building into a bit of a tank. Swain's going to be a pseudo-tank with a huge health pool. And Xayah isn't exactly what I would call hyper carry. Yes, her feathers can do a lot of potential damage. However, Yumi Xayah is more of a lane dominant pressure versus Sivir is, well, there's a 300 CS Sivir win condition that people joke about, but it's very real. Sivir with enough CS will shred through the teams, and Vi is looking to make a play in the bot lane.
No, she was just looks like she was trying to regroup with her team. That way they could easily dive on Masters Overrated, but looks like there was no much of a play there.
Amumu is going to go on to Mordekaiser, and Tom Kench is within the range to kind of get that. Curse of Sad Money is dropped as he hits a little bit of damage, gets the shield off. Meanwhile, Tom Kench takes down the Mordekaiser. The Swain is going to come in onto the bot side as Sivir goes down for the count, but Vi is there to follow up if needs be. Vault Breaker directly in, able to get a nice hit onto the Swain. The ultimate is popped, and unfortunately it doesn't look like Yumi is able to get there in time. The teleport has been channeled. Vault Breaker misses onto Yumi. The Q is able to follow up there, but Tom Kench is now 1 versus 3. He does have a lot of damage and innately tankiness, but it doesn't really matter as it just keeps going. Another TP is coming directly through. Amumu is not able to get there. The feast is on, or the eating is onto the side of Syndra as the Tom Kench is not taking. Oh! Doesn't pop
TP.
the Grey health as the teleport comes through. Xayah is able to get a nice hit, but it's the Mordekaiser versus the Xayah. The ultimate comes through. She have enough damage? And yes, she does. And overall, it is a ace for the side of Masters Overrated, and only 4 kills for the side of Wedge. Wow, that was a long team fight. I ran out of words.
Insane. There was no words that need to be said for this one. Both teams have been fighting with a huge duke out to see who was going to be dominant. And looks like Masters Overrated walks away from this one with just a sliver to go.
Just a sliver to go is correct. Honestly, it does kind of come into show that Wedge has some serious damage on their side. And they do have the skills to keep up with Masters Overrated.
I would definitely want to say that's easily the case. the Leander's tournament, you want those long fights with that Mordekaiser. But the problem is the longer these fights go, the better that Masters Overrated gets, especially when the teams just keep, I want to say, Jackie Channing into each other.
Yeah, that was a bit of a 1v3, 1v3, 1v3 over and over and over again as the Scat of the Week goes wide. My big thing is the late game scaling does go the side of Wedge.
Yeah.
Masters Overrated, despite the fact that Swain is a beast. Sivir is arguably one of... Ooh, Yuumi gets tagged, followed by an empowered Q from the side of Karma, and no more follow-up as Yuumi gets chunked down.
The thing is with Yuumi is like, even though she does have a health pool, she doesn't really use it all the time. She just usually she's attached to a different champion. She's bouncing around her team, making sure that her team's all healed up.
Ooh, a very nice stun onto the Xayah as she tries to go back, but no. That is a Mumu comes in with this Crimson Sad Mummy as well as Yuumi. But unfortunately, Mordekaiser flashes forward, gets the thunk onto it, a double kill onto the side of the Mordekaiser, and that is a nice turnaround. Vi is getting a little bit low, though. Needs to watch out there. Syndra is moving back into mid lane as Swain is looking for a potential way to get in. Rift Herald is now in the eyes of Wedge as they are going for... Well, trying to get something off of these kills. Normally, you'd want a little bit of tower plates. In this case, it is Swain trying to make a desperate attempt to make sure that the Herald does not go over. But at the end of it, he is going to be pushed back to mid as Syndra pushes forward. Missing.
Ooh,
she gets a good Scout of the Week and an Electrocute proc as well, taking instantly down to health. Half health. But unfortunately, Tom is still pushing on the bot side, though, and able to get potentially this tier 2 turret. No, backs off just in time, but it looks like the capture minions are still going to get a lot of damage done. Is it able? Nope, he comes through, and the wave clear from Sivir is a little too much for him. Probably could have gone for it, traded his life for it, but didn't want to. Moon misses the grasp onto the dragon, but it doesn't really matter as they're able to burn that down almost instantly. The smite is just a formality at this point.
I want to say that Masters Overrated, just completely uncontested dragon here from Wedge, and I think that was only because they were already contesting something else. Here's the thing, that Tahm Kench in the bot lane was already making a huge push to make some really big pressure. So this was actually really good for Masters Overrated.
That was a very good play from Masters Overrated. On the side of the Tahm Kench, he is 3-1, finishing up that Spirit Visage as well as the Merc Treads. However, I cannot stress this enough. The Sivir is going to be going for, as a Mumu is going to be ulted, dropped, and flashed all the way in as 5 members collapse onto him. That Vi ultimate is definitely playing dividends towards this pick comp that Wedge has drafted. Masters Overrated, a little bit more of a team fight oriented with the Swain as well as the Yuumi. However, it doesn't really matter when it's only a 1v5.
Yeah.
Amumu can do a lot, however 1v5 as a tanky Amumu, that he cannot do.
Yeah, that was the one thing that Masters Overrated forgot to overlook. They forgot the pick potential about Wedge and let their guard down just a little bit, and that unfortunately falls onto the Mumu. He needed to get away. There was no chance.
Now, Wedge is doing a good job of also maintaining vision, and that's the key to pick comps a lot of the time, so a good on him. Red turret goes down, however, as Mordekaiser is pushing up in the top lane. He misses the pull onto the Swain versus the Mordekaiser, a little bit of a skewed match as Mordekaiser does a lot of damage. The ultimate onto the Swain, questionably enough, as the shield starts to come through. The Amumu is there. The ultimate pops, and Swain goes down to Mordekaiser. A few extra stats, but unfortunately the Amumu's innate damage is going to be enough to take him down. I thought the taking this would have been enough to potentially take down both of them, but a very good outplay from the Mordekaiser. Whoever is playing this really knows the champion, or at least enough to comfortably take down one of the tankier champions right now. That Rod of Ages is not fully stacked, but it's stacked enough that, you know, he's going to have some nice health pool to work with.
Yeah, that's the one thing, especially with Swain and a early Rod of Ages. As soon as you get that thing starting to stack up very quickly, it starts to snowball.
And he's got the Zonia's Hourglass being built as well, so it's definitely not a squishy champion by any means. And especially Mumu able to do a little bit of damage to that as well, as the tier 1 mid turret goes down for the side of Wedge. And Wedge is up a K gold after being down 2K gold.
Yeah, no kidding.
They have really wedged their foot in the door at this point.
Oh, jeez, Joe. You had to do it, didn't you?
I have to do it at least once.
Okay.
My sponsor door wedges, they pay me to do this.
Speaking of wedging,
onto the Tom Kench. Sivert pops on the hunt to try and get a little bit of extra damage. This Tom Kench, 100% chance of going down. No questions asked. Trick Fox is there to secure the kill. 3 members. Easy kill on Tom Kench. He might be tanky, but versus that doesn't matter. Karma is going to get a little bit of damage, taken down to 50% health as Sivert is going with the Rift Herald to try and take down this tier 1. Easy pick. Doesn't even need to do any sort of proccing or auto attacks. Both of them are going to go into the side of Zaya and Yumi as the Zaya gets a beautiful pullback out of the Karma, and it looks like Yumi is finally going to get taken down, but not before they at least trade 1 for 2. Very good pullback. Amumu is getting taken down by the wow, Mordekaiser is just
Mordekaiser just doing Mordekaiser
just doing Mordekaiser things.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. 3 members instantly down for the support of Wedge. That is a trade I will take every single time. Potentially could be looking to Baron. Now there is a ward in the back of the pit. Masters Overrated does know this is happening, but can they contest? There's a lot of tankiness on the side of Wedge. They could tank this Baron for days, despite the fact that Syndra is almost at 0 health. Tom Kench is going to go in, try and get the stun onto the Syndra, but unfortunately it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that, as the Mordekaiser is going to go almost instantly down to the side of the True Health burn. Sivert with the pot on the hunt is going to be taken down as well, as she flashes over to try and get a little bit of more damage onto the Tom Kench, but the Zai is able to get a nice Q over the wall, taking her down along with the pull. Trick Fox is able to trade back against the Tom Kench, as we have 2 down for the side of Wedge, but only 1 down for the side of Masters Overrated. The health pool on the side of Masters Overrated as they decide to go for the Baron. Yumi is there. Swain goes for a flash pull, and he's only able to get the slow as Karma is forced to flash out of the way. But the health pool is extremely low for the side of Swain, and this looks like no Baron for either side. Amumu has decided to pop in the pit, but it's probably just to flash back over? Question mark, question mark, question mark, as Vi is being chased down by the Swain as well. Not able to get the pullback. Oh, nice little pullback, but the Vault Breaker away is going to prevent that. The nice dodge, but the Curse of the Sad Mummy onto the side of Masters Overrated, as Vi is finally going to go down, but not before doing a decent chunk of health to the Zaya and forcing them off a Baron.
That was a beautiful play by Masters Overrated to manage to pick off the Wedge. Vi, honestly, Vi making the most out of most plays that I've seen. I would almost put that Baker level if you could just cleanly get away, but just
maybe let's not go too far there.
I
mean, I didn't even get to say look at the cleanse, look at the moves.
Hey, come on, man! You didn't even take cleanse.
That is very true. Speaking of which, 2 Ocean Dragons for the side of Masters Overrated does put their sustain levels quite far up in comparison to Wedge. Now, that was something we did see as a nice chunk of damage. The Scout of the Week is going to come through. Yumi Ultimate is there to shut down from Zaya onto Syndra as they push down the mid inhibitor. Or, sorry, not the mid inhibitor, the mid turret, tier 1 turret. Thank you very much.
Gotcha.
Sivir is there for the wave clear, but it doesn't look like Masters Overrated is going to be able to do much, as it is 4v5, and Masters Overrated has their eyes set on the Baron.
Yep, so Wedge is going to have to start making a play for the Baron as well. Looks like Karma.
Nice pullback, able to do roughly over half held onto the Karma. And he's going to go chasing after her. They're going to be trying to get this pick. The Karma speed up is there, but unfortunately they are being rerouted. Mordekaiser is pushing in the top lane, so they get forced off of Baron?
Yeah, for now. It looks like it's just going to be slightly delayed for Masters Overrated. Wedge trying to buy as much time as they can as both lanes are going to be starting to push back towards Wedge side.
Sivir getting her red buff. Mordekaiser sitting there against the Tom Kench, unfortunately misses the pullback, and he's not going to be able to chase directly after them. Everything gets popped and the wave clear is in, so he's going to continue to push in that bot towards the tier 2 bot side turret. Swain is pushing in the top side tier 1, but it looks like Sivir is going to come in. Question mark. The Vault Breaker as well as the ultimates from both Syndra and Vi come in, and a very well timed W from the Syndra is able to get a nice proc, and they take down the mid Swain. That is a lot of health to be taken down by just 2 champions. Kind of goes to show the Vi is getting up there, and Syndra is nothing to scuff at right now.
Yeah, but you can't. You have to watch this to duke it out between Tom Kench and Mordekaiser. Both are pretty, I'd say, pretty even health pool wise. but look at the damage coming out of Mordekaiser. It's quite a lot.
Quite a lot, yeah.
And
That's a lot of damage.
It's a lot of damage.
Freak and flex.
We'll get there, Drew.
We'll get there. Oh, Vi misses the ball breaker. Unfortunately, it looks like Amumu is going to get out of there as he also misses his re-engage. Zaya and Yumi were there for a nice 2v1. Follow the hunt, or pop. Sivir could have popped Hunt to try and get the extra move speed to get her champions or her teammates out of there, or re-engage as well.
It didn't seem like they
Yumi
really needed
is
to.
sitting
They're
on
just, like,
to
they're gonna try
Amumu. I really am questioning Masters overrated.
You're playing a little too confidently, honestly. I don't think you should be
not
going too deep.
confidently. I feel like they just aren't taking the team fights. Their strongest is 5. I mean, Swain is a team fighting monster. Zai is a team fighting monster. Ooh, slow up to Syndra. Looks like they're going to be ghosting in there, and Yumi is going to get an easy stun. That is a very easy ultimate. Not even able to get the follow-up Q onto the Zaya to try and pop her as well.
This is not like what we see from Masters Overrated. Usually they're trying to like end games very quickly, but this is very bloodbathy.
Well, not even bloodbathy. Well, no, you're right. About 38 kills on the clock at this point. There is actually more kills than there is minutes in this game. This is one of the first games that we've seen potentially go over 30 minutes as Vault Breaker's being charged. Oh, onto the Yubi. The follow-up from the ultimate is able to get there. Very good timing by Trickfox. Well done. And that was disrespect from the side of Masters Overrated, not clearing out the wards as Mordekaiser goes in and takes a bite out of Amumu. He goes in, Curse of the Sad Mummy onto the Mordekaiser as 3 of them go in onto the Mordekaiser. Getting the pullback onto Zaya, almost taking her down. Mordekaiser is doing damage, and the Swain and Zaya ult are both down at this point in exchange for just one Mordekaiser. Amumu is down. Personally, I would love to see Sivir pops the hunt. Vault Breaker is going to go through onto the side of Wedge, and Vi is getting toasted down. Tom Kench is going to be going in, trying to get a little bit of extra. The Q across. He's not able to get there as a beautiful pull from the side of Zaya is able to get her completely safe and pull in the Sivir. The damage is coming through thick and thin from the Zaya, and she is going to completely clean up Wedge. Beautiful stuff from her, kiting around, able to get those 2 items easily completed. With the Phantom Dancer, not a lot of stuff that can be done to try and take her down initially, and once that burst has been popped, there is no way to try and prevent her from wrecking base in this team fight. Although I will say that pullback, catching the Sivir off guard with the feathers, being pulled back was absolutely beautiful. Well done, Masters Overrated, and a quick 2K gold lead.
I would definitely say Masters Overrated making a really clean play. Tom Kench saving his Swain to make sure he doesn't go down and even out this team fight. Wedge losing a lot of members in this one, unfortunately, because of this Tom Kench just saving Swain for that last cleanup fight.
I feel like they really need to focus on Zaya, and they should know this. 11-4 on the scoreline. Vi just needs to ult her and end her.
Yeah.
Zaya is becoming a problem. Sivir is also a problem. 3-item Sivir is nothing to scuff at.
I honestly think that Sivir could easily start stepping up and doing a lot of damage towards Masters Overrated. But I think in this case, if both teams were to duke it out, I think I'm siding with Masters Overrated here because they have that really good team fighting potential.
They do. Now, frankly, there is a lot of win conditions from the side of Wedge 2. This is probably the most even game we've seen coming out of a team versus Masters Overrated. Normally, it's been a lot messier, let's say, from the other teams. They're pushing down the mid lane turret with a Baron up team. They were able to secure Baron in that time frame once the team fight was completed, which is unsurprising. Yep. And so now they are going to be trying to push up. Mordekaiser is being pushed back as he TPs all the way back. And, oh, no, not able to get it. The stun there could have prevented it, but it looks like he is well aware that he was getting collapsed on as another TP is being channeled towards the top side of Masters Overrated. Zaya is going to be coming through, and a turret goes down for the side of Wedge as they are quick to pout on the hunt. And nice spell shield from the side of Sivir. They are out with Karma and they are out with Sivir as we speed up from the side of Karma. Easily makes sure that everyone gets out. Swain is going to be trying to slow them down a little bit. Pops the ultimate, but not able to get there. A nice pullback with the spell shield, not able to do enough damage though. And Wedge gets out clean after taking down one turret from the side of Masters Overrated, keeping this a really close 2K game. We have not seen a team go above 2K above the other person pretty much this entire game.
Yeah, it's been a lot of these matches have been pretty much one-sided or basically determined by all of this. But that
Masters Overrated is now pushing in onto the side of the Inhib. Inhib down to 1. Is Wedge going to be pulling the trigger? No. We have a stun from Swain onto the side of Carmen, not able to get in there as one Inhib goes down for the side of Masters Overrated. They are transitioning into the bot side where Vi is currently clearing a minion wave. They get a pullback onto Tom Kench. Are they going to pull this trigger? No, they do not pop the Grey Health just yet. The ultimate onto Tom Kench. He is isolated. Grey Health has been popped. He flashes away. Yumi is not able to get slow, and he is easily out, while Zaya is taking down the bot side inhibitor and inhibitor turret. 3 people are pushing into the base of the Wedge as they are getting slowly picked apart. They're not able to get the pick off onto Tom Kench despite using almost all of their engaged ultimates. The Vault Breaker is not connecting against anything except minions, and that is a very, very quick turnaround on the side. Oh, Amumu gets caught out. The pullback onto the 1. At least they're able to get 1, and Vi is going in onto the Swain. The Blast Cone is going to be able to get him over to the safety onto the Dragon side as they are going to chase him back. But we have 2 inhibitors down and still a 2K gold lead.
That's like I gotta give it to Wedge to keep spearheading their way back into this match. But like Masters Overrated are just trying really hard to slam the door on Wedge and close out this game. It looks like Wedge just might have a wedge in this.
You try. You try.
I'm getting there.
You're getting there. Don't worry, enough puns around me, you'll figure it out. So, you are 100% correct though. That was a mediocre defense from Wedge, but they managed to get the pick off. They managed to stop the aggression. And more than anything, they still kept the gold within, like, it's only 60,000 to 59,000.
It's very, very close in this case. And the only thing I would say is there is a little bit more CS lead to some of the members of Team Masters Overrated. That being said, it's starting to very much even up the score right now. Tom Kench showing why he's dominant, but Mordekaiser also showing why he's very strong.
Yumi ultimate popped along with the flash from Swain. Tom Kench is going to go in onto Mordekaiser. They are going to 1v1. Amumu is there to make it a 2v1 though, but it doesn't really matter as Mordekaiser, it basically goes, no, you're 1v1ing me. This isn't a question. As Amumu is going to go down to the Mordekaiser. At least it's a trade, but I don't think that's a fair trade. Amumu for the side of Masters Overrated is not as much of a damage hurt. Right now, Amumu is really just there for CC. So unfortunately, I don't think that Wedge made a good trade in that side. We also see Masters Overrated doing a sneaky deaky. They're attempting to move all the way down to the bot side. We see Wedge fully recalling to try and protect their base as they are starting to push the super minions in. But unfortunately, we do see the Syndra getting blocked out by a nice... Is it E or W from Swain? That's the super long range one. Doesn't matter. They're pushing super minions in the bot side directly into base. Sivir does get back in order to clean up, but they are now going for the final Ocean Dragon. Triple Ocean Drake would be an incredibly powerful tool for this Masters Overrated squad. They already have a lot of sustain, and to have this extra bit of insane uncontested is going to be big.
Yeah, it looks like the next team fight here is going to be very, very hard fought for Wedge. They're going to have to put a lot of damage on a one champion, and they really need to make it count.
Absolutely. We see the ultimate coming through from Tom Kench. Looks like he's going to be trying to stop this Syndra. The Vault Breaker comes through, but Syndra Scatter of the Week actually blocks a lot of the damage coming through. Not able to get the Vault Breaker. She's forced to flash away, but they're not connecting with the extra damage, and they're not able to get out. That is Vi down for the side of Wedge. One of their main engaged tools. Amumu is up. It is a 4v5. Wedge, are you going to test this Baron, or are you going to let it slide?
I don't think Wedge has much in the tank to let.
Looks like they're moving down there, but it looks like the health is way too low. Swain takes down. Syndra is getting caught up by the Tom Kench. Flashes away. Yumi is able to get the stun off onto her as she just gets routed and taken down. The speed boost from the side of the ghost of Swain as he goes forward to try and get a slow. It doesn't look like Masters Overrated is just about done yet. The speed boost coming in from Yumi as well as the Tom Kench ulting into the bot side to try and bring in these double super minions. Mordekaiser goes in to try and get the Xayah. He's able to get a nice 1v1, but the stopwatch or the Sonia's is not enough as Xayah takes him down. It is now 5v3, 5v2, 5v1. Vi is the only one alive. Masters Overrated is making a clean push for the base. Tom Kench comes in. He's on the fountain, and that is a ace for the side of Masters Overrated. Wedge, you fought hard. You should be proud, but Masters Overrated shows exactly what their namesake is.
Wow, what a game. What a match. This was... This has got to be one of the closest matches I've seen so far in this championship series.
To give you guys an idea, that is the first game that has gone over 30 minutes.
I gotta give it to him.
Wedge gave more of a fight than any previous team versus Masters Overrated. Seriously, good job on you. Little bit of misexecution in the later stages of the game that Masters Overrated definitely took advantage of. 1v5ing maybe a little too much when the death timers were at 50 seconds plus. Yep. But other than that, guys, really well done there.
Yeah, you gotta pat your Team Wedge, pat yourselves on the back. That is a very hard-fought match. That being said, you stood your ground. You managed to catch him off guard a bunch of other times. There was a couple of miscommunication errors, and there's got to be a couple of things that you guys can improve on. That being said, pat yourselves on the back for facing them down and keeping your distance with them. And fighting alongside Masters Overrated, I want to say you got to put the nail in the coffin a little bit quicker.
At least versus that team, Colin.
Yeah.
I know that Sivir is a very good late game hyper carry, and I know Mordekaiser does have a late game insurance as well, but you need 5v5.
Yep.
If you're not 5v5ing or if you try to do picks, Tom Kench is not the optimal choice, especially with flash up. I would have preferred to see those ultimates maybe being committed for someone a little bit squishier, potentially the Swain if you could, but more importantly the Xayah. Xayah's damage numbers were insane during those later portions of the game, so very good job there. Very well closed out. Masters Overrated. I don't think you're that overrated. I think your Masters rating is pretty spot on.
I want to
there.
say it's Masters, if not almost Grandmasters in a way.
Absolutely. We're gonna go take a quick break, and we'll see you after these messages. There we are. Sorry about the slightly longer than delay there, guys. Bit of a interesting one. If you watch the news tonight, my roommate might be involved. So have fun with that one. Not going to give you details, but we're going to get into game number 3. Pretty quick here. As, the final game of the day, we are going to see, let's see. We have Ono versus Black Lotus.
Yes.
Perfect. So, Ono, well known for making other teams go Ono. Black Lotus, known for having a 4,000-man roster.
And they don't crack for 3 mana.
Sure.
If you understand Magic the Gathering, you would have totally got that.
Perfect. Well, we're going to get quickly into pick and ban here because we kind of went along. So, right off the bat, we got Ornn
Yeah.
in the top lane alongside Kennen. And in the mid lane,
Yes.
we got Jace and Yasuo. Yasuo well known for going either 7-0 or 0-7, and there's no real in between there.
I want to agree with you there. That being said, I've seen Yasuo go 0-10 and somehow
Still win.
still win.
Yeah, it happens. 50% crit passive. Good job, Rito. So we're gonna be getting into the final game of this series.
Yep.
Pretty quick here. Jojo, want to add anything on the side of these picks and bans? Anything interesting you want to throw?
Not much interesting else. Like the Vel'Koz support. We've seen that plenty of times before.
This is
Anything?
solo queue pretty much. We're good
Yeah.
to go. All right, getting into game number 3 of the CEL Championship Series.
Game 2. Wedge versus Masters Overrated.
We're great.
Game 3. Ono versus Black Lotus.
We're great.
Sometimes you get there, sometimes you miss.
It's been a long day, guys. Bear with me, please.
good.
There's only so much that I can possibly do. So Ono versus Black Lotus. We got a 5-man stack from Black Lotus in the
30
blue
seconds
side,
until minions spawn.
top side jungle, and in the other side we got a 5-man just standard defensive line.
I think they're good. Black Lotus just looks like they're ready for an invade. Not sure. It looks like they are.
I'd be really surprised that they think that they would be invading in that direction. I personally think they're going for a late invade of their own. I think that they're going to wait until
that's really
minions.
strange. I don't see a lot of teams doing this kind of
Minions
thing.
have spawned.
And Ono being like just hanging out near Scuttle right now, or basically Baron Pit.
No, okay,
There we go.
they're gonna back off now. Yasuo's gonna go to the mid lane, and the rest of them are gonna go blue side. So yeah, you were 100% right. Good prediction there. They were just predicting a invade from the side of Ono, who I guess they do have a very good level 1.
That is true. Yeah, Ono here is definitely gonna be able to completely team fight Black Lotus level 1 with no issues whatsoever. That being said, Ono being in the top lane with Black Lotus being bot, kind of a weird pitch.
Yeah, a little bit of a weird one. For the side of Ono, my big one is always YYC ADC, who is currently on Vayne, well known for being in the 1v5 pretty easily, versus Tristana. Now, Tristana is a interesting champion right now, mostly because with kill supports and kill pressure, she does a surprising amount of damage.
Yup.
Kennen is going to be Ono's arguably biggest winning lane. So it's basically Kennen, get Vayne into 1v5 territory, and just go from there.
And that's kind of what when Ono's like basically kiss the resistance in this case, basically getting one person into hyper carry mode and just go to town.
Yeah. Jace, very good poke. A little bit of a weird, questionable combination, but I kind of see what's going on there. Yeah. Jace has lane priority. Kennen has lane priority. Rek'Sai, very good ganking jungler, and Vayne is their hyper carry assurance. So it's basically saying, we are trying to make sure that J4 doesn't go bot and is forced to go mid lane, forced to go top lane, keep all the pressure off of this Vayne. So that way she is able to farm up clearly. And you can just see easy trades from the Jace. Just jump in, hammer form, hammer time, and boom.
Yo.
Get the knockback easy, no questions asked trade. Yasuo will be pushed around quite easily. Kennen.
He's dodging left and right. He's being sneaky little ninja. And I would definitely say that that poke is really going to be critical, especially against Warren here.
Ooh, nice shot blast onto Yasuo, taking him down to below 30% health. Vel'Koz trying his best. The Billows and the Q, or the dashboard from Ornn, is able to do a little bit of damage, but unfortunately, Kennen's just pushing him around.
Yeah.
Trying to prevent the CS. 18 to 19, so not a whole lot. J4 gets caught out in the by the Rex side. In the jump, misses his flag and drag, and Ornn is forced to flash while Kennen flashes over and takes a shot in return. But it looks like he's going to be stunned as well as the damage is coming through. Will the red buff burn? Not enough. They're going to try and stick around here. Waiting for the Prey Seeker, waiting for everything to be up. Boom. The Kennen is going to go through, takes the tower shot, and Ornn lays the hammer down. Hammer time in the top lane for the Ornn. 1-0 apiece.
Wow, that was a huge misplay by Kennen by just missing his abilities by that much. And unfortunately, Rek'Sai did not take the first couple shots of tower damage, and Kennen had to take that one shot, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting Rek'Sai to do just that. Looks like the Vayne is going to try and get a trade, but this is the problem. You get the oh, that was a badly played Q, or sorry, E from the side of Tristana. She's not able to get the dash in on top of the bomb to try and get the ticks off onto the Vayne. Honestly, Tristana is a very, very powerful champion for all inning, but you have to know what you're doing. Yasuo still getting pushed around in that mid lane. Down a whole 12 CS right now. J4 is going to go in for a gank, but he flashes in, goes for the hammer strike. Misses the shock blast, unfortunately, not able to trade back. J4 is going to be able to get this kill as he tries to get away desperately as Flag Drake comes through, and J4 pews his way into the first kill, a redemption for getting caught up by Rek'Sai, missing that Flag Drake against him.
That was probably one of the... That was a very strong play, very good play by Black Lotus. They actually turned that deficit into a winning pick here. Oh no. Played a little too much on the offense, got a little bit caught out, and you could see why Ornn's really good here.
Building items. He can build items in lane. You see that Cinder start to come through, and he's going to be sitting here for days. Got the potions to play with. He's got TP just in case he needs it. Rek'Sai starting to farm up her jungle. You don't really hear the farm alarm anymore as they want to hold that. Kennen still up by 1 CS, but unfortunately the kills did even out the overall goal differential between them. And frankly, Kennen needs to be going ahead. He's building, by the looks of it, towards either the GLP or the Gunblade, or just one of those items. Probably Protobelt, I want to say. Vel'Koz
I want to say
GLP here. You think no, he's got Klepto, no Glacial.
Yeah, that's true. He could easily go into... he already has the gun... Like, he possibly could go into Gunblade. I think that would definitely help his connect.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'm not sure, really. Looks like Ornn's going to go and build a cloth armor. So he's definitely building for the 1v1, despite the fact that ability power seems to be the play of the game from Kennen.
Yeah.
So normally we see Kennen with the on-hit build, same with Nico. Yeah. Looks like she's going to be trying, or he's going to be trying to do the opposite. Good disengage, misses. Ornn misses the dash and the knockup, unfortunately, so not able to trade back.
The one thing I'd say with Kennen is that because he is running a little bit more of an aggressive stance here, is at Ornn, he should have went magic instead of farmers here.
Agreed. Missing it again, the Billow Breath is able to do a little bit of damage, but he's just not getting the damage that he needs to. The stun comes through from Kennen, and the auto attacks is really starting to hurt. Jace is going in. Bane's playing a little bit aggressively to try and zone off the 2 so they can get a clean 2v2 as J4 goes in, slams down, dunks onto the Jace, but it is just too little too late. Jace is able to get the damage. Void is coming through as they are doing tons of damage. Ornn's going for his ultimate as well, but the Ninja in the top lane is able to take him down, and just like that, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no!
Yup.
Black Lotus, that is what you are saying.
It begins with like that. It just, oh no, just needing a little bit of a snowball to get that ball rolling. Kennen being able to poke out Ornn here, and it's going to be a very easy. Maybe might have called that too soon.
Nope, they missed the stun, and this is going to be a full disengage. J4 is going to try and go in, but Flag Dragon to 3 members, especially Inami, not the best decision, especially when you don't have the Cataclysm back up yet.
Yup.
Clean Infernal Dragon pickup and a 3k gold lead, just under 3k for the side of Oh No. And we see the snowball start to get rolling here.
That's the thing, is Black Lotus. You've seen Oh No play before, you need to know how to counter this. If this snowball starts to roll too quickly, there's not much you can do here.
Missing the wind wall as well. An easy half health taken down. Lethality is being built on the Jace. He is going to hurt a lot. At this point, it doesn't even matter if Vayne starts to get fed or not. She is the least threatening person on this Oh No lineup. Kennen got a solo kill on the Ornn in the top lane. J4 is getting absolutely wreck-side by this other jungler, and Jace is starting to put his stamp on the mid lane. Triple daggers doesn't do a whole lot when you don't have any attack to try and multiply.
That's true. And again, this team is remember, Oh No is a very snowballing team, and you have to remember that. The only person I would say that's not a snowballing champion is Nami, and even then, she does a lot of work.
Absolutely, getting the heals, getting the disengage, keeping the main safe. Tidal wave for days, and auto attacks are going to start to come through. Billows Breath does a little bit, gets the knock up on the Kennen, good trade, getting the grass drop. But unfortunately, it looks like the Kennen is going to be Ornn in as the horn is blown, but he misses his ultimate, doesn't get the knockup. The brittle is there, but they're not able to get the proc, and Proto Belt back in as Rek'Sai comes in. The Ornn tries to get in with the extra damage, but he gets taken down. Nalja is able to get a second. The Rek'Sai farm alarm goes off, but she is not going to go in off that J4, just a little too tanky, and the Flag and Drake gets him to safety. Turret plates for the side of Black Lotus' bot lane is the trade, unfortunately, and it is definitely not enough as
I think Oh No gets a really good trade here.
I am so sorry. Beautiful 1v1 there. And just because I'm cool, let's see that a second time. Not gonna go in on that J4, just a little too tanky, and the Flag and Drake gets him to safety. Turret plates for the side of Black Lotus' bot lane is the trade, unfortunately, and it is definitely not enough as
I think Oh No gets a really good trade here.
I am so sorry. You off, but she is not going to go in on that J4. Perfect. So we see there the Rift Herald is now being dropped by the side of Oh No as they are just snowballing this out of control. 3 turret plates are instantly going to go down. Almost the turret itself. They could have stuck around to get that. Yasuo is able to take down the Rift Herald just a little bit. Vayne tumbles out of the way as we are just going back and forth, back and forth. Rek'Sai does try to clean up the first turret, but unfortunately it's too little too late. The Rift Herald goes down. Shelly gets a lot of gold for her team, but not everything.
This is exactly playing right into Ono's hands. This is exactly what Ono wants right here. The fact they have that snowball in their position and starting to roll.
They've positioned it on the hill. They've given it a little tap. And while it hasn't built up critical speed just yet, it is starting to get there. Jace, 2-1-1 versus the 2-0 Yasuo, has a almost a 60 CS lead over his lane opponent.
Yeah,
Yasuo hasn't built a single damage item yet. Just boots and daggers. There is just a Doran's Blade to be upgraded or to provide the damage. Really not what you want to see.
That was the problem. This is the feast of famine of Yasuo. He's either very, very ahead or very behind. the only problem I have with Yasuo and me is you can't. It's hard to trust if you can get them ahead or not.
It is. Needs a lot of attention. Personally, I would have said J4 can't hit. That is your job. Unfortunately, Ornn getting pushed around in the top lane. Ornn can provide CC. Ornn can provide a lot of utility to his teammates, especially if he's hitting that Ornn horn. But Yasuo does not provide what they need unless he has damage. Bane is going to go in on the Rex and on the Belcog. The tidal wave is going to come through. A lot of procs are coming through. It doesn't look like the Tumble's going to be able to do enough damage. She's able to get a second, but the heal, the flash is there, and YYC ADC is able to get a nice kill onto the Belcog. They keep saying nice. It's because it is nice, as Jace as well as the Rek'Sai are there to try and take down the Tristana. Buster Shot takes them down, but J4, he makes his own coffin. He makes his own crypt. Tristana goes in to try and take down YYC ADC, but is not enough damage. All of the health bars on the major damage dealers on Ono are low. Yasuo could potentially clean up, but they are just going in onto him. CC'd up, taken down. Tree Throw is there again as the Ornn horn is sounded, and he takes down the cannon. Beautiful play, but it's not enough. That is everyone but Ornn taken down on the side of Black Lotus. A 4-for-1 at the end of it, and 2 turrets taken by Ono. This snowball just went from 2k, 3k to a total of 8,000 gold over the course of one team fight. The snowball is no longer rolling gently along the edge. It has hit a sheer cliff. And Black Lotus, what can you do? What brick wall can you put up to try and stop it?
That's the thing here. It looks like Black Lotus basically started to Jackie Chan 1v1, just trickling in one person at a time, and that's what Ono wants.
Controversial one at a time strategy. Gets them every time.
Yep.
By them, I mean my own teammates.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I've seen that happen on my side of the field as well. I'm going to be very honest with you, it never works out.
No, for some reason, feeding never works. Question mark. Now, I'm not going to lie. Black Lotus needs to play, despite what's happened, bye.
Nope.
Nope. No,
no, it's just deleted.
No, let's just do this again, all right? Just for old time's sake.
It never works out.
No, for some reason, feeding never works. Question mark. Now, I'm not gonna lie. Black Lotus needs to play, despite what's happened, bye.
Nope.
Nope.
Want to see that?
One shot is always the good one.
Yeah. It was almost a 2-shot, but the damage was so much.
It was just way too much. In the meantime, J4 gets taken down again.
Oof.
12-3, 30.9 to 21.9. Jace is potentially going to get caught out there, but he does have Youmuu's to kind of prevent this. Yasuo is being chased. He is going to get a lot of movement speed, and Yasuo is going to chase in. He's got the Zeal. He's got a lot of things that he can do, but it doesn't matter. Saleya puts the hammer and puts his mark down in this game. Flashes forward versus the Tristana. The Buster Shot is just not enough. He's going to disengage just enough, but the jump is there, and unfortunately the Shock Blast does miss from Jace as he is just going hard. He wants it. Hammer down, hammer in, and dominating. Slayer is dominating, an accurate name for this 6-1 Jace.
Did Slayer just came from the off the roster? Were they in the last 2 weeks?
I believe he was in the last 2 weeks, but I will double check that. YYC ADC taking J4 down to half health as well. I'm not gonna lie, this is not looking good. Nami gets bubble off, not able to take it down the feet. Good.
Good win wall.
Okay, good win wall. There we are, Yasuo. You need about 20 more of those, and all of them need to be targeted on Jace's Shock Blasts, because they are going to rip through your team.
I can definitely agree there. Jace is going to be one of those things that's going to be very, very critical in the mid game. Now we're going to start see mid towers, possibly top towers, top base towers go down if this cannon just remains uncontested.
Now, okay. I say this is almost unwinnable because it is, but truthfully speaking, we do still have the Wombo combo. Vel'Koz does not need a whole lot of items. His organic dematerializer is going to naturally do a lot of damage.
Yeah,
We also have the Wombo combo of both J4, Ornn, and the Tristana. They can all, with Yasuo, pile on to one or two members and take them down instantaneously. Doesn't take much. Speaking of which, we see J4 gonna go in, but then he remembers, oh wait, this is the champion that 1v4'd us last time. Maybe we should not do this unless we have a 5-all members.
That being said, looks like mid-turn. Oh no, it hits.
All
Wow.
of the turrets, 6 turrets down for the side of from the side of Black Lotus, and they are left with just their base. They need to turtle. They need to do something. Ornn is looking, trying to horn off, but it doesn't look like he's going to get the flank that he still wants. They need to get these CC abilities onto the key members, and by key members, I mean all of Ono.
I honestly have to admit, yes, Ono's going to have to get. They have to be super lucky and pick up 5-man knockouts. It's going to be a tough
Or at
call.
least 4.
At least 4.
The only person that doesn't matter here is Nami.
Yep.
So you can live without Nami, but you need to hit at least Jace. I would say Vayne at this point, seeing
Yeah.
she's on 2 items, and Kennen, and you need to burst them instantly.
Yeah.
Yes, the Rek'Sai will probably get a return kill. She is fed enough for that. But it doesn't matter. You need to get these massive 5-man, 4-man ultimates onto the key members if you're going to have any chance in this game.
I also think that Yasuo needs to really start to. It looks like he is getting his own little snowball in return here. He's got 1 item and he looks like he's about to build into 2. But that being said, Ono taking this dragon
He's
is
still
starting to
60
put the nails
CS.
in the coffin.
Jace is just 60 CS ahead. He is at least 3,000 gold away from an IE, which is a key item, but I just don't know if Black Lotus has enough to get there.
They just need to let Yasuo farm in a side lane. That's all they need to do. But looks like they're trying to keep him grouped
Ono's
up.
not going to let them, though. As
No,
soon as they
yeah,
see, like, Yasuo can't 1v1 anyway.
Yeah, true.
So it's not like he can push. These... 5 outlaws, I'm sorry. Vayne's going to just run through and easily gets to the Kennen. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Just picking them off one by one. The Kennen gets a double ultimate, and unfortunately, the team that gets the 5-man ults and takes down all 5 members is Ono.
Again, this is the snowball we were talking about, and I think it is now at critical mass. There is not much you can do here,
They're
especially.
14,000 gold behind.
Yeah.
I hate to say it's an unwinnable game, but
You need a miracle to win.
But Ono needs to mess up, basically. Black Lotus, you need to get on your knees. You need to pray to the Ono gods that their name is more in reference to the mistakes that they make, rather than the mistakes that they have forced upon you. They've already broken your base. They have already found a way in. All you have left are the inhibitors and
the Nexus.
And you need to protect those with your lives, which you probably will, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's unfortunate enough to say this, but Black Lotus, it's a bit too late for that snowball to stop right now. It is a little bit too gone. The Jace is way too far ahead. The Vayne is way too far ahead. I would even put Kennen in the same boat here.
Kennen's 3 and 2. Yeah, he's definitely sitting pretty at this point. 2 items completed, going for that Zhonya's Hourglass. Yeah, they have a lot of damage.
I don't think Kennen needs Zhonya's here.
Oh yeah, well it's a good item on him because he can just ult in and then Zhonya's to protect himself,
That's true.
so he can get the full duration of his ultimate off if needs be, because he does need to get in close.
True. I'll agree with that.
4-man stack for Ono on the top side. They're gonna push Baron up minions. J4 just waiting in the wings. He is just waiting. Is he going to be able to get anything? Flag and drag onto 1. He is instantly sent down. And the ward is dodged as well and taken down for the second time. Yasuo into the backline is not able to do anything, but Kennen is taking down the Tristana at the same time. We have a alt-right, all-in massacre on our hands right here.
That's an almost secondary ace for Ono. 1 up lead for this one. But that being said,
It's GG.
It's
There
GG.
is nothing that they can get done. One member, Vel'Koz, up for the side of Black Lotus. Jace taunting there, seeing if he can get the kill. The Jace goes golden, gets taken down with 1,000 bounty, but it doesn't matter. Oh no, stamps authority on this game. Nice job.
Yikes.
Yikes. He is right. Ono makes it look easy. And frankly speaking, after the games we've seen, Masters Overrated and Ono are starting to look a little scary.
Well, we've seen both these teams snowball completely out of control. So let's see what happens next week when both teams clash.
They do. Next week they do clash, and we're going to see again, I believe it was game 1 actually, Ono versus Masters Overrated, the first week that we saw.
True.
Masters Overrated took that, I believe, if my memory serves me correct. So we're going to have a rematch. We're going to have a rematch to see who takes the number 1 spot, because so far, Masters Overrated has looked to be a favorite. But if Ono takes them down, that puts some real contention for the first and second seeds.
Yeah, but I could definitely say both Ono and Masters Overrated can easily say they locked in their spots, no problem.
Well, next week does determine that.
Yes.
So if someone has 4 games won, I don't think there's anyone who can match them. Because every other team has a loss to them.
That's true.
So yeah, next week, if Masters Overrated takes the win, they're pretty much locked in, guaranteed to go to the finals bracket. So these next coming up weeks are going to be really important in figuring out who is in contention for the finals positions.
So let's break down the storyline here. So we've got one team,
Team Wind.
Team Wind, on an absolute Cinderella story. Can they pull all the stops out and get to the top?
They would need to win 3 games in a row, and honestly, those are going to be some tough games. Bushtown is arguably middle of the pack.
Yeah.
Wedge looking very strong, so that's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
Ono and Masters Overrated.
It's going to be the hardest fight for them.
It is,
I
yeah.
honestly have to admit, Wedge was already giving them a very difficult time, and if that's the case, my odds are saying you're kind of not getting
But you know what? Anything can happen.
You never know.
Team Wind has the wind at their back. They're
Yep.
sailing forward. We could see some interesting things. So, with that all said, we're going to leave you guys for now. Tune in next week. We're going to have pretty much a fight to see who can lock in at least 1 seed for the finals bracket.
Final 4.
For the final 4. Moving into week number 4, you guys have yourselves a good one, and we will see you next week. As always, this has been your host, Drew Trackhawk Crawford, joining you on the... I was doing so
you
good.
messed it up
I
for the
know.
first time.
Joining me on the desk, Jojo Barrientos, aka JB Red Phoenix, in the chat, and you guys have yourselves a good night.
Have a good one. See ya.